In a historic decision on the 15th of February, Senegal's Constitutional Council overturned the postponement of this month's presidential election. The landmark decision opened up a realm of uncertainty for the traditionally stable West African nation. President Mackay Sall's decision earlier in the month to postpone the election, scheduled for the 25th of February, had sparked widespread outcry and had prompted deadly protests. Reportedly, at least about 3 people were killed during the protests, and at least about 266 others were arrested across the country, including journalists. Our next report gets you the details.
Senegal is considered one of the most stable democracies in West Africa. It is the only country in mainland West Africa to have never had a military coup. It has largely peaceful handovers of power since gaining independence from France in 1960 and has never delayed a presidential election. Its laudable reputation, though, was marred on the 3rd of February by President Macky Sall's postponement of the country's 25th February presidential election.
I signed Decree 2024-106 of 3rd February 2024, repealing Decree 2024-2283 of 29th November 2023, convening the electoral body. For my part, my solemn undertaking not to stand in the presidential election remains unchanged. I will initiate an open national dialogue to create the conditions for free, transparent, and inclusive elections in a Senegal that is at peace and reconciled.
President Macky Sall cited concerns over the eligibility of opposition candidates as the reason for pushing back the elections to the 15th of December. Opposition figures cried foul, lamenting that the unprecedented move amounted to a constitutional coup. Senegalese parliament, after a fiery debate, approved the delay till mid-December, but only after the security forces had stormed the building and removed the opposition MPs opposing the bill from the chamber. Widespread protests gripped the nation, once considered a bastion of democracy. Amid escalating tensions, scores of government opponents were arrested. In an apparent attempt to appease public opinion, several detainees were released on the 15th of February.
As I walked through the door, I can say that, well, there were feelings of sadness because I left my comrades behind. And even though I'm happy on the one hand, on the other, I can say I'm sad because there are comrades I have left behind. And we demand their immediate and unconditional release. And we demand once again that Macky Sall organize elections as quickly as possible. He must leave on April 2nd.
International community, fearing more violent unrest, have called on the Senegalese government to hold elections as soon as possible.
We are extremely concerned about the situation in Senegal, the political situation in Senegal. In fact, the Secretary spoke to the President of Senegal this morning to reiterate our concern about the situation there and to make quite clear that we want to see elections continued as they were scheduled. We want to see them take place as soon as possible.
Opposition and civil society groups, still guarded, have issued new calls for demonstrations. Will President Sall read the writing on the wall and ensure smooth and timely transition of power, avoiding fueling further instability? Only time will tell.